Have your attention, please. It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
go! You gotta meet the author. Meet the author. You gotta meet the author. Now you can be an author.
Welcome to Meet the Author. My name is Liddell J. Glenn, and I am the host of Meet the Author. Today, I'm excited to announce that we're going to have Delores E. Jordan on the show today. And without further ado, I'm going to bring her in, and we are going to have a wonderful conversation talking about her book, Please Don't Jump. Good morning, Delores. How are you?
Good morning, Adele. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today. I want you to tell our listening audience about Delores E. Jordan, and then we're going to jump right into a discussion about your book. Please don't jump, because I'm excited. I know we talked a little bit about it before, but I want our audience to know what that book is all about.
Okay, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. Well, the name of the book, total name is You're Stronger Than Your Situation, Please Don't Jump. I am the author of two books. This is my second book. The first book is In My Family Shadow, and it basically talked about my life as Michael Jordan, the NBA player, older sister, and my family and my troubles from my perspective. Michael's 4 years younger than me, so it's so funny because people know him and they assume so much about our lives based on him. And for me personally, my life had, again, I'm 4 years older than him, so I've had some issues in my life before he came into the world, and surely into the knowledge of the world, knowing who he is. So with that being in mind, the first book chronicles a lot of my struggles, my personal struggles, some of which was, being sexually abused by a father that I love, as well as, having some, and all the things that come from that. I don't drop that in there as if there's, just that and nothing else. There's a lot of things. It colors a lot of things in your life when that has been your situation. But I'm also a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 5. I'm inspirational. It talks, my pain is laid right out there on the pages. And so, I tried everything I could not to do it. But I understand why he had me write it, because it became the catalyst towards my healing. And then the new book, one of the things he kept saying to me in how I came at the new book was when I would whine to him and tell him I couldn't do this and I don't know why I have to do this. And he would say, Delores, you're not lost to me. I know exactly where you are, and I know you're stronger than your situation. And he kept saying that to me. So that became my mantra and became what I held on to. And he was right. I was stronger than the things that, the things I thought I couldn't get through. I thought they were going to take me out. I tried suicide so many times. So that's in the gist of it. I am God's daughter, loving life, using my voice, using my, name, using my position now to tell other people you can make it. I know it don't feel like it, but you can make it. God's purpose. So he didn't bring you this far to leave you now. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Exactly. Well, Delores, it is just to hear you talk about what you've been through, your struggles, and how God has brought you out. And I, it's funny because I was talking to someone earlier today, because God talks to us so in a lot of ways, just to get our attention,
right,
so that we can do what he wants to do, not what we want to do, but
right,
what he
right.
wants us to do. So I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to do a little commercial, And then we're going to show a copy of your book, You're Stronger Than Your Situation. Because, yes, women need to know
No,
that they
right.
are stronger than their situation.
Yeah.
So, the title, You're Stronger Than Your Situation, Please Don't Jump. It's a lot we may want to do because of what we're going through, but we don't have to do it.
Right, right, right.
So they are
Right.
stronger than their situation. So we're going to just go to a little commercials right now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more about your book.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations! The hard part is over. You've written your book, it's in print, and now someone's waiting to read your story. Aquarius Creations Publishing's Meet the Author can help. You could be our next featured author on our show. You get to share about yourself and why you wrote your story on our Roku channel and our YouTube channel. We'll feature you and your book to get the exposure you need. Aquarius Creations Publishing's Meet the Author has helped me, and we can help you. Contact us today at meettheauthors.net because someone's waiting to read your book.
Hi, my name is Kijano Owens. I am co-founder of Success Express Marketing Solutions. Our business is cultivating more business for your business. I want to tell you real quick about our program that is one of the most comprehensive business development online marketing support programs out there, which is the VASP, VASP, Virtual Assistant Support Program. This system allows you to operate and run your business while we help monitor and help you cultivate more business for your business online. Contact us at 909-686-1698 and visit us online at successexpressmarketing.com. Look forward to helping you take your business to the next level.
Got motivation? Then speak. That's right, I'm back on my soapbox again. It's not just speaking, it truly is a career. And I'm looking to capture you, those people who says, yes, I want to be a speaker. Or those of you who are already a speaker, but you want to take your speaking career to the next level. That's what Got Motivation and Speak is all about. We start off with the masters of what a career path is about. Then we move into getting your thoughts on paper. And from getting your thoughts on paper, we get into packaging yourself as a speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop there because we teach you how to go from free speaking, that's right, free speaking to fee speaking. Wouldn't it be nice to get paid for what you know? On top of that, guess what? I'm going to share something with you. You've been speaking your whole entire life. But the only thing is you haven't gotten paid for it. Well, Got Motivation, Then Speak want to teach you how to get paid for speaking. That's right, there's an audience waiting just for you. Also teach you about product creation because all speakers need to have some type of product. That's what Got Motivation and Speak is all about. I'm waiting to see you in my next seminar. Got Motivation? Then Speak.
We're back again. And so I'm going to bring back Delores, and we're going to talk some more about her book. And we're going to also show our listening audience a copy of her book and how you're going to get a copy of it, how you can get a copy of it. Anyway, let's bring back Delores. Delores, we're back on the air again.
Thank
So
you.
I'm excited to have you. I'm excited. You're a God-fearing woman. And even though you considered suicide, God told you no. He gave you another way to go. So let's talk some more about your book. Tell our listening audience more about your book, and then we're going to talk about how they can get a copy of it.
Okay. So, you're strong in your situation. Please don't jump. It was, I started writing this book in 2019. And, at the time it was directed God touched me about writing about suicide. And I was like, Lord, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about suicide except for my experience with it. And he said, that's what I want you to tell the people. I want
Mm.
that if I can save you, I can save anybody. There's not an issue that they have, that any of us have, that God can't fix. But when we're in the midst of them, Adele, our issues they loom so big, and sometimes they're so painful that we're looking for an escape however we can get one. And in some cases people choose drugs, in some cases people choose alcohol, men, women,
Mm-hmm.
and some kind of suicide. And so suicide was my device that I embraced, because I was literally trying to not be here. So that was, alcohol, you still wake up in this world,
And you're
drugs.
still here, right? Right.
So I was trying to not be here, and so and so this book talks about my suicide attempts, but it also talks about God meeting me in my pain,
Mm-hmm.
showing me that of my own I could do nothing. I got to the point where I recognized I couldn't even kill myself if God don't let you. If God don't let you, and,
Right.
and this is not to those who to the family members of those who succeeded in killing themselves, that still holds true. But what God does is he gives us free will. And then if we keep ignoring what he's telling us, he'll take his hand off and let us go up, do what we want to
That we
do.
want to do, yeah.
So the only as much as I was passionate about taking my life, that last time when he did some phenomenal things that kind of like let me know I am mindful of you, then and what unlock the locked door. I write about it in a book, but unlock the door that was always locked, automatically locked, could not unlock it myself. He unlocked it and took away all doubts that it was him. And then he let them get to me in time enough to restart my heart and all that. And
Mm.
I woke up. I wasn't happy to wake up. I wasn't happy. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You wanted
I
to
was
go.
not happy. Oh no. And then 2 days later, one of our candidates in the city, he dropped dead on the campaign trail.
Mm.
Man, I was ballistic because I couldn't quite understand why you would take him who has
And
so
take
much to
you
lose,
right.
and you bring me back. But there is also in there I heard this little voice that you still can't take your life, but the next time you might not get up healthy,
Mm. Mm.
you know, and so
Wow.
that was a little fear that I couldn't might not be able to take my life, but I might not, each time he allowed me to get up and be healthy and not have any residual effects from my ordeal, which no brain dead, no injuries or whatever. And so that little voice said, next time you might not be so healthy. And
Oh,
so
wow.
the question comes in, do you want to, I know you want to die, so I understand that, but if you can't die, do you want to be stuck in a less than healthy position?
Mm.
Because then you just top, you just
You're
add,
just a vegetable.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you just added on to your issues now,
Mm-hmm.
and so I challenged God, and I in my ignorance, I did. I like, well, if you won't let me die, then you need to show me how to live. And not knowing what I was saying to him, but just recognizing that that he needed to show me how to live. You keep bringing me back to this life, and it's the funniest thing, because I'm Michael Jordan's sister. People always kind of think like, what was wrong with you? I mean, your brother's this, you guys are $1 million houses and jets and all those things, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't like you, if
Mm.
you don't like life, if you don't see the value in your life. None of those things can change that. I know people, think so. If I just had more money, if I just had more fame, if I just had more, everything would be all right. And what they don't always understand, there's a cost for all of that. There's a cost for all of that. There's a
Right.
price to be paid. And then sometimes that price is not is healthier than what you think. I look at my brother's success. I'm going to deviate from him. I look at my brother's success, and he's very renowned and known, but he can't walk the street. He can't do the basic things. He can't walk in the mall. He can't take his kids to the park. He can't do any of those things that we don't ever really give much thought to. And so, when I looked at my life and I saw some of the things that were being expected and required, or just learning how to like me. I didn't like me. My past had been of such that I couldn't understand why my father chose to abuse me. I couldn't understand why my mom chose to not protect me, and I couldn't understand above all of that why God put me in this family. You know what I mean? And so so my thing was to treat my own wounds, to medicate my own self. It
Mm-hmm.
was to get out. It was to get out the family, kill myself, get off the earth. Don't have to contend with me. They don't have to contend with me. God, you've forgotten me, or you don't care about me, because that's what it feels like. Sometimes when you're in the midst of it. And today, given this opportunity to talk to your audience, I want to tell them that you really are stronger than your situation. God
Wow.
does not give us more than we can handle. He does, however, give us things that we don't like.
And those things that we don't like, he gives it to us to make us stronger.
To make us stronger, and also as preparation.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I come to look at my life. If he's going to have me speaking to audiences, encouraging people, offering him up as an option or a solution for what ails them, he's going to make me genuine. He's going to make me authentic. So he made me walk the walk myself before he allowed me to be able to talk the talk. I didn't
Right.
see it that way, but I get it now. I get why. He knew where he was going to send me, and he knew how he was going to use me. And here's the thing that people don't understand. We think our life belongs to us. And for the most part, it does. But he birthed us with purpose. There is some purpose that he intentionally gave us life, because he intentionally had purpose in our life, for our life, and things that he's going to do with our life. And not everybody taps into it, because it does require sometimes relinquishing control.
Mm-hmm. And giving it to him.
Relinquishing control, and honestly, to relinquish control is hard. If you are a control nut, or if you grow up thinking that your life belongs to you, and who's going to tell you what to do with it, and ultimately you're saying, God, this is my life, I can do with it whatever I want. And God said, yeah, but I own you. I'm giving you time
Absolutely.
to find out the good things I want to do with you. And it doesn't feel good. All of it doesn't feel good. But honestly,
You said something, and which is so true. And I had mentioned it this morning on another show. But God, we are not in control. And I don't know if the audience can see this, but this is a rubber band. And when you pull a rubber band out, it stretches. That's what God does to us.
he really does.
He does. He stretches us. And we don't understand why we go through what we go through. And Dolores, I know you've been through some things, you battled with some things, but God was stretching you
I
to
know.
use you, to
I,
use you.
I get it now. I used to say to him, why do you have, okay, in my family, you put this phenomenal athlete, this phenomenal marketing piece, and then you put me.
Hmm.
You put me first, and then you like Lord. When I was going through my issues, like being abused from age 8 to 16, Michael's 4. Michael, when it starts at age 8, Michael is
Hmm.
4. When it ends at age 16, Michael is 12. Only God knew that he was going to pull Michael forth and make him, this phenomenal athlete and celebrity. But you knew I was in this family. You already knew how broken I was. You already knew I was a mess. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to the family? Why would you do
But
that to me?
but right, understand that he took your mess
So
and
yeah, so these are
turned
the
it,
things I
turned it into
struggle.
a blessing.
Yeah, these are the things I struggled with for so many years and did not quite understand and talk about so earnestly and transparently in the new book. You did not understand. I get it now. Oh my goodness, I get it.
Mm,
If one of the things God kept telling me, which is how I get the name of the book, is Delores, you're not lost in me. I know exactly where you are. I also know that you're stronger than your situation.
mm.
There are some doors I want you to walk through that I don't want you to fight to get through. So I send your brother ahead of you to cut a path. But when you walk through these doors, you take me with you. So
So your brother was a
he
trailblazer,
was a trailblazer. And here's the funny
and
thing
you
is
became the pathfinder.
yeah, well, see,
And
and
see,
I say he sells Nike, Air Jordans, whatever. I talk Christ. So he and God knew he equipped us both to do proficiently what we do. He is very good at, the sports and the marketing of, products, whatever. I I am learning and I have learned to be a wonderful mouthpiece for God, not because I don't need to inflate anything, exaggerate anything. I just need to be honest about my life. It's enough drama there. You don't need to make up
but
anything.
that drama brought you a long
Oh
ways.
yeah, yeah,
And sometimes we look at our experiences and our past experiences, but know that God is working behind the scenes
he
to bring us
is.
out of that. And that's what he did for you. He equipped you with the
Yes,
tools that you
it's.
have now
Oh
to
my goodness.
move
I
forward.
say that. I say that with all sincerity. I Nobody could have ever told me that I would come to enjoy life.
Mm.
Nobody could have ever told me that I would be talking. The first book in my family shadow is just that I was in the shadows. I'm struggling with life and trying not to live, and God was so oh God was so smooth with the way He did it, because the first book I went out. I struggled to write the book. It took me a long time to write the book. I cried my way through the book. I thought it was asinine of God to be asking me to write a book in as much of a mess that I was. And then as I had to go out, it's one thing to get me to write the book, okay? Teaching me skills I didn't know I had. I tried everything I could to get a ghostwriter, and he wouldn't let that be. And I get it now, because I think with that first book, he peeled me like an onion. He made me face
Mm.
my issues, own my issues, make peace with my issues, and then settle them in some sense. Okay, you've been abused. Not the first one that happened to. Won't be the last one that happened to. You tried suicide. Okay, well, you saw that you couldn't kill yourself. You know, and then yeah, I know you think I made a mistake putting you in Michael Jordan's family, but I know what I'm doing. And so all these little things, and then I went out with the first book, and he showed me things with the first book. As I would go out and meet people,
Mm-hmm.
people would say, some of my family members try to make me scared. Like, they're going to see you as a gold digger. They're going to see you as just riding on Michael's coattail and all that. And granted, some people might have seen that. But I tell you, might have seen it that way. But I tell you, Adele, I met so many Doloreses, male
Mm-hmm.
and female. I met so many people coming up and saying, thank you for writing. Or how did you get the strength to write this? Or they would ask, what did my family say? And where I found myself saying wholeheartedly, I take no credit for my life. And so, and my book signings, tell you how smooth God was. My book signings would turn into church, because I couldn't, because they would. And the guy that was traveling with me as my assistant at the time, he would say to the audience, have you been to church? Along the way, this is where he got me, like, if you
Mm.
guys haven't been to church today, she's getting ready to take you to church. But that's
That's
because I couldn't talk about where I've been without glorifying God for bringing me through it and getting me to where I am. So you can never, matter of fact, I had somebody in Texas, a radio personality that wanted to interview me, and he said he does not talk about politics and he
Mm.
doesn't talk about religion. I said, well, I talk about God, so I'm not going to alter my conversation. So maybe I'm not the person that you need to interview. He made an exception because you can't talk, you can never bring me on. I'm never going to talk about my family's accolades. I'm never going to talk about, my brother's accomplishments. People are hurting,
Mm-hmm.
and MJ can't save them. But I know somebody
That
that's
can.
talking living testimony to what he has done in my life. So when people ask me, how do I get here? I'm not trying to preach to them. I'm just telling you how I got here and what God has done for me. And I was apprehensive. I was doubtful. I was a non-believer at one point. And God made me a believer. And I don't endorse products. I don't endorse services that I don't believe in.
Mm.
I would never promote anybody or anything that I don't believe in. But when somebody or something makes me a believer, man, I'll be the spokesperson for you that will just stand on the mountaintop. And
Well,
and
mm,
that's how I am with God. God brought me through my life. And so I came to understand, Adele, that all the things that he had allowed in my life, even the bad things, because people want to see God as only the good things. When it's the good things, it's God, and when it's the bad things, it's the devil.
but
And
you
but
never know. I
yeah, but
mean,
here's the thing: what I learned. Here's some things, my little things that I learned that helped me, in my growth, and as I read and whatever. Even when you go back into the story of Job,
mm-hmm.
Satan wasn't looking for Job. Satan wasn't. God offered Job up. He said, have you considered? He asked Satan where he had been, and he said from here to fro, he's looking to see who he could devour. And God said, have you considered my saint Job? God offered Job up. So that told me, and each time Satan came back, because he couldn't do no more than God allowed him to do. And then he come back and God would tell him, you can do this, but you can't do that.
Right,
And
right.
so I came to understand in that story that Satan had to ask permission to get to touch me. So if God is, and God offered Job up. So who's to say God is not offering Adele up? Who's to say God is not offering Dolores up? And it looks like he has just, thrown Job away. Looks like he's thrown Dolores away. It looks like she just don't matter. But I tell people, you got to get to chapter 42.
Mm.
Because he restored Job, and Job didn't curse him, regardless of how bad it got or whatever. And so, and God knew that Job could stand the test. So,
Exactly.
so that's what I went through all my crying and got, and will find myself wake up some days and like, oh, I feel good today. Oh, and my problem hadn't changed, but it was a good day. And so then I just started looking forward to the good days, asking God to get me through the day. So one of my prayers is, I don't know what the day holds, but I know, Lord, you hold the day.
Mm.
So whatever you allow to touch my life, make me receptive, make me strong enough to endure it, and enough faith to walk it out. So,
Now you're saying some words, and I'm going to say you taking us to church.
I'm sorry. I know, but I told you at the beginning, I cannot do this. I cannot talk about my life. I cannot talk about where I've been and where I am without giving God the glory. There's not a man, not my mother, not my brother, not my family, not my ex-husband, not my children, not my grandchildren. There is no one on this earth that I can give credit to for my life. That's just not.
Mm.
And so, and it's funny how God has made me that vigilant and that, precise, you know, me who used to be running from my life and trying not to be here and didn't understand why he had me here. Now I can talk definitively about why I'm here. People struggle to try to find out their purpose. This book, Stronger Than Your Situation, Please Don't Jump. The whole premises of this book is before you try suicide, before you take your life, try Christ.
Mm. Well, we're going to stop right there, Dolores. I want to show our listening audience
Okay.
a copy of your book,
Okay.
and then we're going to talk about how they can get a copy and
Okay.
some parting words because, I mean, what you're saying is some good stuff, and
Okay.
this is Women History Month, so
Okay.
I want you to tell women what they can do and not to jump,
Okay. Will
because
do.
it's all about them. And I thank you so much for being on the show. Hold on just 1 second. Let me show our listening audience a copy of your book.
Okay.
Okay, Dolores, we're back. Now, can you tell our listening audience how they can get a copy of your book?
The absolute easiest way to get a copy is to go to my website, DeloresEJordan.com. And Delores, I'm going to show you the spelling because we couldn't see it on that one. But the spelling of it, see if I can show it to you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so Delores E. Jordan. And you always have to put the E in because my mother and I have the same name. And the E is the only thing that separates us. But yes. So DeloresEJordan.com. You can also get it on Amazon and you can also get it on Barnes and Noble. The difference is on those two sites, you're going to get paperback. You can only get hardcover from my website. It doesn't cost any more money. It's the same price. The only thing with getting it from my website also is I couldn't go out because of COVID right now. I can't go out and touch and hug and whatever because I find these are things I learned about myself, with the other book.
Mhm.
I found that I like, you know, communicating in person. I like talking to people. I find a lot of people want to come up and hug me. I'm all right with hugs. I love hugs. In COVID right now, we can't do that.
Right.
So I know COVID was a little isolating. So I wanted something that my readers could only get from me. And so that's what the hardcover book is. It's not like it doesn't cost any more money. It's just the same thing. It's just it can only be gotten from me, from my website.
Now, let me ask you, Dolores, if they order it from your website, is it going to be a signed copy that they'll get from
Well,
you?
I don't take it upon myself to autograph unless people ask me to,
Mhm.
because I don't know if they're buying it for a gift or if they're buying it to do whatever. So, and I don't want to think that my signature is so important that let me just add it to everything. So no. So if you don't ask, I don't autograph. Literally, if you don't ask, I don't autograph. But if there is there in your ordering, there is a note that you can put in there, and all you have to say, please autograph, please sign, or whatever, and I'll do that.
Mm.
But because I don't know if they're buying it for themselves or buying it for someone else, I tend to personalize it when they ask me to sign, to sign it. I personalize it to them or personalize it to whoever they're asking me to. But I don't just sign unless they ask me because I don't want to. I'm not trying to think too highly of myself. I am God's student,
Child,
God's
yes.
vessel.
Well, I want to, before we go, there's a couple of things I want you to do because it's Women History Month. I want you, first of all, to tell our listening audience how they can get in contact with you if they want to get in contact with you. And secondly of all, leave our listening audience, especially women, some parting words that they can use. Not just, I know this is Women History Month, and I don't want them to just use those words for Women History Month. I want them to use it for out their life.
Okay. Oh, right. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. As far as contacting me at that same website, there's going to be an email. You can email me, and and it'll come directly to me. And we can talk about whatever it is that you're needing to email. If it's just to say hello, you're welcome to email me to say hello. Um, as far as women, as far as people in general, we tend to think again that our life, that we were just put here on earth, just put without any purpose whatsoever. And God is not like that. He does not do anything by chance. He does not do anything accidental. He does not do anything by mistake. You have your life because God intended for you to have your life. And if you would feast on anything that I say today, I would send you. Honestly, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just giving you some nuggets that hopefully when I'm not around and Adele's not around, you can still feast on them. If you go to Jeremiah 29:11, he says, I
Mm,
know what plans I have for you. And it's for your good, to give you a future
mm,
and for good, and not to harm you, and to bring you to that expected end. So we have to take on the mindset that God intentionally gave us life. He intentionally has a purpose for us. I know his will for my life is better than my will for my life, because God does all things well. So it makes more sense than to tap into him and to try to figure out. That's where I had to go to figure out who I am. I had to go to figure out what it is that he had me to do. I had to go to figure out why he kept bringing me back. And I came to find out, indeed, I am stronger than my situations. Indeed, ladies, indeed, gentlemen, indeed, people, you are stronger than your situations. No matter where you are, when you find yourself in these hardships, start tapping back into God and say, why do you have me here? What am I supposed to learn from this? You have some reason that you brought me here. Open my eyes to it. Sometimes it's, you know, burning things off of us, pruning us, breaking us away from old habits, but also preparing us for the new level, the new situation he's getting ready to move us into. I just had this conversation with my daughter the other day, and it came into play when it says, would a wine, or a person who produces wine, would they empty out a bottle and put new wine in an old one?
mm, mm.
And the answer to that is no. Matter of fact, if you have a choice between a new car and an old car, who is going to choose the old car? A new house and an old house, who's that? So if you got a choice between a new life and an old life, why not take you already
Mm,
tried things your way. Let's try 'em God's way and understand where it is you're trying to take me. What it is that you want me to do? And I want you to be encouraged that God sees you. God loves you. God has a plan for you. And his plan won't look like everybody else's. It won't require the same level of teaching. It may not require this. It's not going to go in the same direction. My brother, we are a prime example. Same family, same parents, same household, and totally different, lifestyles, totally different purposes. So we require totally different levels of preparation. And so, same thing with you. God's taking you somewhere. He did not create you just to create you. He has a purpose. So I want to encourage you to believe in the fact that you really are stronger than your situation. So get
Dolores, I want to say thank you, but I know it's winding up, and I say winding up because I got another show I got to do.
yeah,
But I want to say thank you,
you're
and
welcome.
I want you I'm gonna show your book to the audience again and end it with a commercial. But I want to see you behind the scenes. Talk to you
Okay, all
later.
right, okay.
You gotta